we have a big fight coming up in the UFC in January on the UFC Brazil card. We got Gilbert Burns versus Neil Magny on the undercard of the main card and main event of Glover Teixeira versus Jamal Hill. This is a pretty solid big fight, big name fight at least. Gilbert Burns is a pretty popular guy, I expect, in Brazil and in America, I guess, too. But big fight here. I think it's actually going to be a little bit more competitive than people think. And because there's a name, it is automatically very important. So I'm going to cover this. I'm going to do a full prediction breakdown for this. I probably won't list it as an early prediction because I think I'll probably just use this for the week of the card, which is next week. So I'll just post it today, and then I'll just let it sit through next week, and then I'll just do all my other earlier predictions. But big fight coming up. I'm going to break it down. Let's go right into it. We have Gilbert Burns versus Neil Magny. Gilbert Burns 20-5. Neil Magny 27-10. 35 years of age, both of them. Gilbert Burns is 5 inches shorter than Neil Magny at the 170 weight class. And Neil Magny will have a 9-inch reach advantage, which is really huge in this matchup. I don't think Gilbert Burns has fought someone that big. I may be wrong though, but this is a pretty big reach advantage for Neil Magny, so it is a little worrying in predicting this one. He also has 5 inches in leg reach, which is also very interesting because honestly, if they were both the same size, Neil Magny would probably get starched here, but the length against Gilbert Burns and the age and all that is going to be super important for this matchup. So for the last few bouts for Gilbert Burns, we have Khamzat Chimaev around last year's time. One of the Fight of the Year candidates, probably, most likely for a lot of people. Super fun fight. Gilbert Burns fought a very good fight against Khamzat Chimaev, a lot different from a lot of Khamzat Chimaev's fights. Was super competitive, made it interesting, and had it super close. A lot of people thought he won. I thought Khamzat won, but it was a super close fight. Did take a lot of damage in that matchup, which is very important also. Had a pretty big war in there. And a lot of damage for at 35. You're going to start questioning how much durability you have on Gilbert Burns at this point at 35 years of age. Pretty much in the fight against Stephen Thompson, kind of just laid on him. Finished him. He didn't finish him, but kind of just laid on him and won it that way. It wasn't the most fun fight to watch, honestly. Against Kamaru Usman, got finished there. At a point, he could have finished Kamaru Usman, but I'm not gonna do any insults here. But he wasn't. I guess because they were teammates, and maybe it affected him more. But I don't know. I don't know what was up with that. But he got finished there. He had a chance to finish him. I think if he kept doing what he did and not lay on the ground, probably could have won that fight. And then just beat the crap out of Tyron Woodley. Oh my goodness. Neil Magny, last 4 fights. Daniel Rodriguez choked him out. Looked pretty impressive there. He showed his length over D-Rod, and D-Rod's a pretty big guy. For the Shavkat Rakhmonov fight, I was not very impressed with Neil Magny there. It honestly looked like he didn't even try to win. I don't know if he was, I don't want to say scared, but I don't know if he was just like, oh, screw it, I'm gonna lose this anyways. Like, I'm not gonna try. Like, it didn't seem like he was trying to actively win that fight. So that one really annoyed me, especially against D-Rod. I picked against him specifically for that reason, because I didn't trust him to actually go out and perform. But he did look pretty solid against D-Rod. So Max Griffin, good win there. And then he has a win over Jeff Neal, who is fighting Shavkat right now. Jeff Neal has come on a bit of a streak right now. He's actually looking really good. Shavkat versus Jeff Neal is a pretty big fight. I'll probably be doing an early prediction for that one too. But yeah, won against Jeff Neal. Jeff Neal just beat Vicente Luque, knocked him out, and then has Shavkat. So depending on that matchup, Neil Magny could look a lot better here. But yeah, going into how these guys will fight each other, I think you'll see Gilbert Burns probably work the body a little bit more because it's just a big target. He's a smaller dude, so it's going to be easier to hit the body and things like that. But a guy like Neil Magny has a lot of length in this matchup. Like you said, 5-inch leg reach and 9 inches of arm reach advantage in this one. So it's going to be really tough for Gilbert Burns to try and finish here. Maybe he just goes after the body and tries to weaken Magny and slow him down a little bit. Maybe get him in the clinch against the fence and just start pounding away on his stomach. stomach. Just starts pounding away on his body, leg kicks and things like that. But for Neil Magny, he's probably going to want to be aggressive here. Try and catch Gilbert Burns when he comes in. I've seen a lot of the stuff that Neil Magny does. I was watching the Li Jingliang fight. He was using his knees quite a bit when Li would go for the body. So I think the leg reach advantage and the reach here is actually going to help him a lot. I think he could possibly open up some knees on Gilbert Burns coming in because he's a lot shorter. And he has definitely way longer legs and could possibly catch Gilbert Burns there. So this one's a really tough matchup for me to choose. I think a lot of people see the name of Gilbert Burns versus Neil Magny, like, okay, Gilbert Burns is going to win this. But this is a super tough fight to predict. I want to go Gilbert Burns, just say he takes out the body of Neil Magny, and then maybe catches Neil Magny trying to go for a knee or something. But I don't know, man. After a fight against Khamzat Chimaev like that, he's in his home country. I don't know. I think I might go with Gilbert Burns here, but Neil Magny has a very, very good chance of an upset in this one. I think he could possibly outpoint Gilbert Burns with the length and the reach. I think he can possibly stay away from those bigger shots, probably jab and hit some of those straight punches that a lot of guys from Killcliff kind of struggle with. Or actually, what kind of opened it up was Jeff Neal versus Vicente Luque. They don't really move their heads too much, honestly. So I am a little worried about that. I can definitely see Neil Magny winning this one, and I think I might. You know what? In a week's time, if I think about this a little bit more, I'm kind of up in the arms right now. I think I could choose Neil Magny when I make my full card prediction. So I'm not exactly sure here, but I think I want to go with Neil Magny. I want to, but I just don't know. I can't trust Neil Magny necessarily. I can just see him. I can just see Gilbert Burns just working Neil Magny's body and then just catching him after he tires him out against like the fence or something, and then finishes him there. But I can also see Neil Magny just using straight punches, outpointing Gilbert Burns. Gilbert Burns goes to the body and he knees him in the head, does some of his leg kicks. I can just see Neil Magny doing that. I don't think the ground game is going to be too much of a factor here. We could see Neil Magny try to take Gilbert Burns down and hold him there, but that's a very dangerous game to play with Gilbert Burns, so I don't know if that's necessarily smart. But yeah, I think I am leaning a little bit Gilbert Burns because I think he's a lot more skilled in general. But I think the length and the reach and the height and how Neil Magny uses straight punches and his knees and things like that, uses his length, this could be a very big problem for Gilbert Burns. So we'll see how this goes. I think if Neil Magny does win this fight, it will probably be a super close decision. His output isn't crazy. Like he's a longer guy, so it's gonna. I guess not necessarily his length is the issue there, but because his fighting style is super long, his punches don't go as fast. I guess I don't know. I don't know if it's necessarily like a length or a height thing, but you can see kind of his punches going. He's not necessarily fast with his hands like Gilbert Burns is, so that could be an issue for him also. But I don't know. This is going to be a really tough fight to choose. I think if Neil Magny does win this, he's going to be able to keep that range, use some of his knees, jab, and straight punches away. But again, Gilbert Burns will probably just need to work the body and find that opening after he tires out Neil Magny. So I think I'm gonna lean Burns here, but my prediction could change. I'm not super confident in Burns in this one, especially after his last match, and with the super long length and reach of Neil Magny, this could be a really big issue for Gilbert Burns. So I am going to edge it to Gilbert Burns, maybe a finish in like third round after he does and goes after the body of Neil Magny. But I don't know. This is going to be a really tough one to choose. I'll probably figure out it's more like that Gastelum and Amava, but that fight's not even happening. But I don't know. This is a very tough fight to choose. I'm leaning Gilbert Burns, but I can definitely see Neil Magny winning this fight without a doubt. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll be making another early prediction. My plan is to do who else is fighting on that card? Figueiredo versus Moreno 4 tomorrow. That's my plan. We'll see if it happens. And then yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Pretty good, solid Q1 of UFC happening if all the fights go to plan. You can join my Tapology group down below in the link below in the description. You can make your picks and things like that. I think I have my picks already made in there. If I don't, I'll do it now. But you can see your picks and things like that. I'll make discussion posts in there where you can see some of my picks and things like that. Record your picks. You can have your little record there. I've been doing it for a few months. I'm actually, this year, I think I'm going to do my picks a little bit different. I think I'm going to put it in like an Excel sheet and then track them for each card. So Tapology just makes that easier for me. And then you can see your picks and things like that. I think I already mentioned that a few times, but I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys next time.